ESPN NFL analyst Mark Schlereth. What's up, Stink?
How are you guys, man? It's good to be here.
We just smarted up this desk a little bit with your
Did we?
Yep.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
We classed it up a little bit.
What's up, big boy?
What's going on, my friend? I'm on your Giants bandwagon, brother. I'm on it. Yeah.
On the bad one. All right, Stephen A., you do the honors. Let's talk about the G-Man. Who's going to win?
You know what? I think the Eagles are going to lose this week. I think that they've been playing with fire a little bit. I think they're still trying to shore up that offensive line. Their secondary is still suspect to me. They've been giving up key plays in key pivotal moments. I don't like the way St. Louis almost came back and beat them. I think too many games have been far more interesting than they should have been. And I think there's been some inconsistency with their offense because of their offensive line. LeSean McCoy is a shade of himself. It's just a shade of himself. We know Shady McCoy is more big time than this. And the fact is, him with Darren Sproles, they haven't been able to do much with that running game because of some offensive woes. Lane Johnson's coming back, so I think that's going to buffer the offensive line a little bit. But I'll give him a week to get under his, get his feet under him and what have you and do what he's capable of doing and for that offensive line to improve. But I think the way that the Giants have been flowing as of late, particularly with Cruz, with Randall, and now Beckham coming back with Eli Manning having some weapons, adapting even more so to McAdoo schemes as the offensive coordinator. I think we're seeing also Rashad Jennings doing well for them. The fact that you've got guys that you've been able to have some semblance of a running attack combined with your passing attack and the defense, Skip, you said it on many occasions this year already, is far better than giving credit for. I think they go into Philadelphia, and I think they win a game of this magnitude. I'm going to pick the Giants to win this game 26-21.
Now, timeout before Mark goes. I have to ask you, does this mean you're backing off your preseason pick that the Eagles win the NFC East?
No, it does not. It does not mean that. It just means that I think that the Giants are up and coming. They're going to make it very, very interesting, but I think the Eagles lose on the same week and the Cowboys do.
Yeah?
What do you think?
All right, Stink.
All right, let me give you a couple of points.
Okay,
let me give you Philadelphia, why I think the Philadelphia Eagles offense has struggled. Okay, first and foremost, and Stephen A. is correct, offensive line, they've got issues there. They've had a bunch of injuries. They've shuffled a bunch of players around. And they are a kind of a sideline-to-sideline running team, letting Shady McCoy do his thing, break guys down, and they're a man scheme on the offensive line. So they'll block you up, man. It's more position blocking than coming off the football and letting Shady McCoy do his thing. They've allowed too much penetration with the guys that are in there. They've gotten beat up a little bit on the line of scrimmage. They haven't gotten to the second level to give Shady McCoy that opportunity to break people down and get there. And then the last thing about the Philadelphia Eagles that's really hurt their running game, no Deshaun Jackson. Deshaun Jackson's a guy, from a speed standpoint, that stretches a team vertically. And so safeties have to be deep over the top because they're so afraid of him. Guess what's happening now? They're not afraid of getting beat deep vertically anymore. So now safeties are rotating down in the running game, depending on the side they go to, and they are flying down there to get involved in that running game and stopping the run. So there's nobody essentially assigned to those guys. So they're just out there having tackling practice right now. And you've seen it time and time again, the effect of not having a real speed guy in that offense, coupled with that struggling offensive line, has really hurt them as an offense in general, especially in their running game. And then as far as the Giants are concerned, quickly, I've been so impressed with Ben McAdoo, the offensive coordinator, essentially looking at his New York Giants, that football team, and assessing their weaknesses and saying, you know what, we're not very good at X, Y, and Z, but we can be really good at A, B, and C. And I'm going to stick to A, B, and C. What does that mean? He knows they can't drop back like they used to, 7-step drops with a couple of hitches and let Eli Manning stand back there because he'll throw picks and he'll get knocked around. So they've gotten that 3-step drop, 5-step drop, get the ball out of your hand, put it on the receiver, give him a chance to make somebody miss, get yards after the catch. And Stephen A's right. Even though Jennings is going to miss this weekend, I believe, with the injury.
I'm pretty sure he's out.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. He's been phenomenal. Williams has been great running the ball. I mean, they have run it exceptionally well. So they know what they are as an offense. I've got the Giants as well. I've got the Giants in a 3-point game beating the Philadelphia Eagles.
This puts me back on the hot seat because every time 3 people at this desk pick what would be a mild upset, it would just be the Eagles are a 3-point favorite at home, so it's a pretty close game. But every time 3 people pick an upset, the home team's going to win that game. So now I'm going to have to go with my original instinct. I'm with you guys on this. I love what the Giants have been doing. I do not love it that they're without Rashad Jennings. But that little Andre Williams from Boston College, not bad. Yeah. I like his nose for the holes. You know, he's got that knack. I like his poise for a kid.
He punished some guys, too.
He did. He punished
people.
Yeah. So Eli Manning, when I thought it was almost safe to write him off after yet another, the third year of leading the NFL in interceptions, those first 2 games were stinkers. The last 3, he's as on fire as anybody in the league. His QBR is 90 the last 3 games, 8 touchdowns to 1 interception, and here they come. And by the way, need I bring it up too early here? No matter what happens to Dallas at Seattle, a week from Sunday, the New York Football Giants go to Jerry World. So that'll start to tell some tales, too. So this whole division is going to start to reveal itself here pretty quickly. But I do not like the way the Eagles have played. They have been outgained each of the last 3 games. Yet they're now second in points scored in the National Football League because the special teams and the defense keep scoring touchdowns. I don't know how. Maybe that's a really good thing because you've seen teams just get hot on special teams and defense, and just the momentum of that carries them through a whole year. But their offense, by Chip Kelly standards, has been to me, a huge disappointment so far.
In regards to the special teams touchdowns, the defensive touchdowns, I've always said those are like bananas. They come in bunches. Okay. And when they dry up, they dry up. And
you got to throw them out.
So my concern is eventually they dry up. And what's your offense doing? Your offense better get back on track because, what is it, 2 touchdowns offensively in the last 2 weeks, something of that nature?
Yeah.
I mean, they just haven't been very good. So they've got to be better, and they've got to balance that out a little bit.
Okay, so Eli suddenly has go ahead, Stephen A.
No, what I was going to say is this. With Jennings being out, obviously, and I forgot about that, but with Jennings being out, that compromises things just a little bit for the New York Giants because you're talking about an Eagles team that's 24th against the rush. Now, they're 28th against the pass, 29th against the pass, 28th overall. You can pass on this team, but those quick drops, the 3-step drop by Eli, getting rid of the ball, it's worked effectively for him. But the one thing the Eagles do have, at their disposal, Schlereth, is they have speed on the defensive side of the ball. Sometimes I wonder whether or not they can tackle better. Sometimes they do tackle well. Sometimes you look at them coverage and you're saying, what the hell's going on here? Other times you look at them, they seem to be doing a good job. It's just absent of consistency. But in the end, to me, I know the Giants could throw the ball on them, but it's primarily because you had to fear the run with Jennings. If you don't have to fear that with Jennings, you could be compromised if you're the New York Giants, but I'm still going to go with them in this game because it wouldn't surprise me at all if the Eagles won up at MetLife Stadium and the Giants win here in Philadelphia because they've certainly done that before. And the way that they're flowing right now, the Eagles are hell-bent on convincing everybody they're not going to lay back in the zone. They're going to apply the pressure. They're going to put pressure on Eli Manning. They're not going to sit back like they did against Austin Davis last week. My attitude is if you sat back against Austin Davis or if you let Austin Davis torch you when it really counted, what you going to do against Eli Manning? I've got to believe that the Giants could win a game like this.
Okay, I'm going pretty high score. I'm going to go 30-28 visiting team Giants. Are you going up?
Yeah, I was in the mid. I was like 27-24, something of that nature. Yeah.
All right. And what do you got, Stephen A?
I'm going 26-21 because, I'm sorry, if I do it would be like 26-23 or something in that range, but I'll stick with 26-21. I'm concerned that the Eagles are still not going to be able to run the ball. Shady McCoy has got to get going, but it's not really his fault that he's not. It's that offensive line. Once they get that offensive line together, I think the Eagles will be just fine. But until they do, they're not going to be able to run the ball effectively enough, and I don't think you're going to beat the Giants if you can't run the football and you're just relying on Nick Foles with Macklin and Raleigh and Cooper and those boys.
Okay, last quick question for Mark. Yeah. Right now, who wins the NFC East, just from what you've seen?
Wow. Right now, I like the balance and the totality of the New York Giants.
Wow.
As a football
Here we go.
team. I think defensively.
The bandwagon is rolling.
Right. I think that defensively they're vastly underrated for what they are.
I've been saying that all year.
Yeah.
Those Eagles bananas going to dry up, as you said.
Yeah.
I like what you're saying.
Skip has been saying that. Skip has been saying that all year long about the New York Giants. Trust me, I picked the Eagles, but nothing would make me happier than to be wrong that my Giants win the division. Wouldn't bother me.
Everybody at the desk
So long
likes
as it's
the
not the
Giants.
Cowboys.
Giants this weekend. All right, Eagles just 3-0.